It's time for the person of interest who's with us in studio, Mr. David Matsanga.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante
Daktari, actually, to be precise.
No problem. Any title can do.
Any title can do.
Okay, yes. I prefer to be called comrade.
Comrade.
Yes.
Why?
Comrade. I am a fighter.
Who do you fight and why?
I started fighting as early as 1978. Where were you?
Well,
so I have been fighting battles to liberate Africa, and that has given me a passion to do so until today.
let's start from the beginning and from the top.
Yes.
Why are you in Kenya?
Kenya is a home is an African country. I'm not in, I'm a businessman. I conduct business in this country. I have trucks that play from Uganda, Kigali, Mombasa. I have cars. I have an office. I've held it for over 10 years on Chester House near Voice of America building. You can go there, room number 9, suite number 9 on Chester House, first floor. I employ people, not Ugandans, Kenyans. I also pay tax to the Kenya Revenue Authority. I don't violate any rules, but Kenya is a hub. I have several other places in Zimbabwe, in Windhoek, South Africa. I have contacts, offices, and I have my headquarters in the United Kingdom, where I've lived for 27 years as a person who fled from persecution in Uganda. In 1985, our government was overthrown, and was working with Dr. Mlito Noboti. We found ourselves on the streets of Nairobi, in the Bohongo Stadium, and we left. So some of us chose to go to some other places. My late president, who's dead, and is not here, but he knows he has a spirit and he has a person he left behind. I'm still carrying his torch. Yes, he's a Pan-African. Oboti was a Pan-African, and he taught me how to speak English, which I try to speak. And I'm not shy of controversy, just like Oboti. If you bring it, bring it.
Let's bring it.
Yes.
And let's start from the top and again from the beginning.
Yes.
Your passion for Kenya, ICC cases, we'll get to them, but why is your passion in Kenya so much than as opposed to your passion in your home country,
My
Uganda?
home country had a problem of ICC smart. Uganda is the first country in Africa to have its case referred to the International Criminal Court. When Joseph Kony and the 5 commanders were indicted, the
Ugandan government asked for that.
Yes, they did. That is what they call a referral.
Yes.
And there are many people who have come up as experts. Some of them don't know these things. So referral means the state refers, yes, because it cannot catch the criminal.
Yes. So why is that a problem?
Now, it became a problem in that we Ugandans saw that this ICC was not going to solve this problem at all. Smart. So what we did as Ugandans, we sat down, President Museveni, myself, Ruakana Rugunda, Dr. Riek Machar, who's now fighting against Salva Kiir, plus Salva Kiir, Bashir, and other heads of state, including President Kibaki. They said there must be a peace process. And I was called upon, and I want to tell you frankly, I was called upon. I've been in opposition. I've been in opposition against President Museveni. We are tough. We know each other. He doesn't need to ask who Matsanga is. He knows me because I've been fighting him since 1985 for one-party state, which I brought multipartyism. I did. There are parties there because some of us sacrificed. Some of us were on BBC Focus on Africa. You must have heard my voice. When you were growing up, I was fighting for these political parties to return. When political parties came back to Uganda, there was nothing to fight Museveni again. Because I wanted political parties so that I can revive my party.
But you're in Kenya, you're not in Uganda to revive the party.
You can revive a party everywhere.
No, Matsanga. But see, to look for political power and political influence, you have to talk to the people. You have to go.
I do. By the way, I have a lot of following in that country. I come from an eastern part of Uganda that has never had a leader. All parts of Uganda have had leaders. North, west, east, central. They have.
So are you a politician?
Yeah, oh yes. My subject was political science and international relations.
Are you running for political office?
I will do so, and I will declare at a certain time. Uganda politics is different. You don't declare too early, because you might not reach there. So you have to wait. I have an ambition. Yes, 56 years old on this planet. I have an ambition. You see, the problem people have here is that I don't have gray hair. So when God has created me in a different way also, that my genes are different. They don't produce gray hair. But when they look at me, they think I am a young person, oh, this, that. That's why some people even think that I have no children. Some people think I have no family. I have a wife, beautiful family of 8 children and 6 grandchildren.
Where are they?
In London. We went as refugees. I don't want to hide you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank Her Majesty's government for having given me asylum. I would have died. Kampala authorities were on my neck. They wanted me down. But today, in dialogue, in peace, in healing, you shake hands. I took her hand and shook Museveni for the first time, 27 years. After 24 years, whenever he comes to London, we go. I also fly out of London. But this time I took my hand, I shook him, I said, Mr. President, in my tribe, when I shake you, we don't fight you again. And that's it. I have done nothing wrong. I did this for the sake of my country. I've brought peace. One thing that people they think, oh, I talk about Kenya. No, I brought peace in my northern part of Uganda. There is poverty. Poverty is everywhere, but there is peace. People are sleeping. Matsanga risked his life to go to Garamba Park, look for coin, tell coin to sit on table, which Americans cannot do. They came and scattered the whole thing. In fact, Jendaya Fraser, when I see Jendaya Fraser moving around Africa here, I feel so sad. But fortunately, we are on the same subject of ICC.
She's arguing from your corner as well.
Yes.
But before we get to ICC, Matsanga,
yes.
and the big question, and what Kenyans have a problem with, they say, well, this Matsanga man comes from Uganda, has all this experience from the UK and whatnot. Uganda has a lot of problems. Equally, Kenya has a lot of problems and issues. If you put them on a weighing scale, where we are and where Uganda's politics is, need a lot of help than where we are. So why are you not? I am not standing for a constituency here. No.
Kenya is going to be an East African state. Uganda will be an East African state and integration. You now move from Kenya to Uganda without a
Before that happens.
Even before that, Kenya has been a beacon of hope, a beacon of peace, hope, and tranquility in this region. So you touch Kenya. Look here, I would rather die for Kenya
than Uganda.
Yeah, because if you destroy Kenya, I'm a strategist. If you destroy Kenya, my people will have no sugar. If you kill Kenya, if you allow regime change mechanism in Kenya, then my country will suffer because we depend on you. We depend on you on essential commodities. Today I'm not going to shout. I'm going to explain my position.
Please.
Depend on you on essential commodities. Depend on you on direction. Most of the leaders in East Africa, Kagame, Museveni, Obote, they all good leaders lived in Kenya. They have participated in the politics of Kenya. Kagame was here driving a taxi. Is he not the president of Rwanda today? He lived in Kenya. Museveni was here. He fled into Kenya.
So Matsanga is here,
Oh, yes, tomorrow. I have an ambition. I don't want to lie to you. I have an ambition because I have to take part in my political dispensation. If East Africa becomes, I will put my name in East Africa. If East Africa becomes a federation, my ambition, and watch this scorecard, I will put my name to be, because Kiswahili mimi, yangu sanifu sana kutoka Tanzania. I grew up in Tanzania. Watu wengi huko wananijua. Si hapana Kiswahili ya bara, yangu ya mpwani.
Kiswahili sanifu kabisa.
Yes, I will go there and campaign. The first name on ballot for the president of East African,
David Nyekorach Matsanga.
Watch that. So why shouldn't I play the politics here? I'm above this. I cannot go when there is a shrinkage of constitutionalism, give space, don't push too much. Because in the end, you might also lose your own life.
What do you think about your president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni?
There are two things that Museveni, and I give credit where it is due. Where he has done badly, I say yes. And I'm the only one who calls him and say, yeah, no. That one, like this thing of those who listen to my phone should be hearing. I call him, I say, Mr. President, no. That is shallow. That's it. He likes people who attack him and tell him that. But there are things that he has done very well. On the question of terrorism in Somalia, I give him 100% mark. He took the troops, Ugandan troops went into Somalia. Nobody wanted to go there. We went, we combated. We are battle-hardened in the fight. The brothers who are dying, these are own brothers, they are related, they live people, they are fighting for freedom of Africa. That's a credit. Two, in Uganda, Museveni has created what we call LC system, Mayumba Kumi, which everybody in Kenya here is talking about, and then they talk, another one goes to court to block. Oh my God, litigating state. You are becoming a litigating state. You litigate over everything. A person throws a stone on the windscreen of a car, you want to block in court. So please, leave the courts to do serious things. Museveni has created a system. I don't agree with him in all things, but there are systems of security in Uganda.
Is he a good president? Is he a okay president?
I wouldn't like to come in a foreign country and then hammer my president. He's my president. How bad he is, we Ugandans, we shall sort out the mess. If he's bad, they will vote him.
The same feeling Kenyans have is like, why would a foreign come and lecture us and talk to us about our systems, our politics, and about interest? The same way you have issues to talk about Museveni in a foreign country in a good or a bad way. The same way Kenyans have a problem.
No, with me,
yes.
The question of Kenya is an international one. Look at this. So, I am talking about, I have never talked about MP so not talking to the other. I've talked about ICC. ICC is international.
It's our issue.
Smart. It's not your issue anymore. You are not in a local court in Kenya. You are in international court in a cold land. You take two men, two innocent guys.
That's only three.
No, listen. Look here. 6 first. I did not start talking, I did not know that Ruto would be a deputy president. I did not know that Kenyatta would be a president here. In 2008, this mouth that you talk about started talking about warning you. Because when you start and you become an international operator, I'm no longer Ugandan property. Yes, I defend Zimbabwe. Am I Zimbabwean? Right. I've removed sanctions on people and ministers in Zimbabwe can now fly to Brussels and fly to London.
That's you.
I struggled, yes. It's me. Go on the record. Check. Check. I don't talk. People here talk. Air, hot air. I am an internationalist. You touch Africa, I go down with you. I am the only person in Britain who was a Labour Party member who stood up in a delegates conference of the Labour Party and told Tony Blair, please engage President Mugabe. He refused. He knows me. He doesn't need to ask who Matsanga is. Tony Blair knows me. Gordon Brown knows me. Cameroon knows me. What do? I have to speak for Africa. The good thing in Britain, where I live, is that there is freedom to speak, criticize, insult even the Prime Minister. Here, when you insult the Prime Minister, they want to lock you up. In Africa, some of these things should be allowed. The freedom should be allowed. But let me tell you, ICC matter is not a local issue anymore. Why do you allow Ocampo to talk about it and the Matsanga should not talk about it? Matsanga is
that a question? Is that a question you're asking me?
Yes. Do you know why? I have refugees in my district from Kenya. I have people that I'm paying school fees for, Kenyans. I send my little money to them. They said they will not come back here because of the post-election violence. You want me not to talk about it?
Matsanga, you're talking about ICC, is so much about let's get rid of this process.
Yes.
Cutting to the chase.
No. I have no problem with ICC as an institution. I have a problem with these two guys, a woman and a man. The man who left, called Ocampo, and the woman, the present woman.
So as the expert, let me take you as the expert. As the expert of IC matters and Kenyan cases, you've not started talking about this yesterday. Who should we be blaming for post-election violence?
Ocampo.
Is he the one who started the post-election violence? No. Who should we blame for the post-election violence? The original sin, since you are the expert in these matters.
The original sin goes back to shrinkage of constitutionalism. If you are defeated in a constitutional setup, don't call people on the streets. Don't. Just say, let's sit down and talk. People did not allow that. They did not allow that discussion. People in Africa, you should learn to be defeated. Matsanga, I've learned to be defeated and I resign. If I find the Konyi is too hard for me, I go to the national television and say, sorry, I am resigned. I've done that before. Because if he does not want to listen to me, let him go down his way. That's why I've survived in political science. People must learn to accept responsibility. This post-election, this election violence would not have been there. If people said, okay, this is now, you have defeated us, this is our country, okay, fine. Let's shake hands, we wait for 5 years. Let's have that culture. But we don't have a culture here. It caused that violence. And unfortunately, it has brought us key players. Some of us are being condemned of not being Kenyans, but we are going to go ahead. Like me, I have no waffling. I will never waffle. I will never change until I free these three guys. These three guys, you know what? These three guys are innocent. These are not the criminally responsible people who should be in the Hague.
And I'll answer that question in the beginning. Yes. Who, since you're the expert in this matter, who should be at the Hague?
Different people.
Who?
Criminals.
Who?
The highest person of responsibility in this country.
Give me a name.
Was who?
Give me a name.
Kibaki.
Yes.
The second one was Raila, who called people on the streets. He should be on the, actually, first you go with that in international law. And let's speak facts about this.
So
international law says the highest criminal responsibility of anybody in the ICC or any international crime is the captain.
So what did Kibaki do?
Was Uhuru Kenyatta the captain?
What did
no,
Kibaki
wait, answer me. Was Uhuru Kenyatta the captain?
He was in the camp.
Was Ruto the captain? No.
He was in the camp.
No. We are now looking for secondary. We are looking for a criminal. When you want to look for a mafia boss, when you want to arrest a criminal who orders for assassination.
So your issue is that Kibaki and Raila are not at the Hague?
The issue is that some NGOs, some people in Kenya, I don't want to discuss that because the case is in court. There are 11 people in Kenya who sat down, crafted the list of the tallest Kenyatta and the tallest Ruto and the shortest Sang. You know, there are people here, very bad mercenaries of NGOs. Very bad. They get money which you don't have. They carry briefcases of money which is not accountable in the system. And they came, they sat down, they crafted the free names. I am telling you, it's a tragedy.
Can I ask these questions? Who pays you?
Myself. My business pays me.
How much?
I work a lot.
How much do you make in a year?
Just
a rough estimate.
My companies.
Yes.
Like Africa World Media has...
Everything you put together. Rough estimate, how much do you make?
By the way, before you ask that, let me tell you, I was a senior consultant for Sky News for Africa. I was earning 140,000 per annum.
That's pounds or what? Pounds?
Per annum, yes.
All right.
Look at that, with a budget of 500 to 600,000 pounds, which you can fly, sleep, eat. It's a budget of Sky News. Senior consultant. Before you interview a president in Africa, I've ever interviewed people here. That's why most of the presidents in Africa know me. I set questions for Sky News. That was a credit for me. Until somebody walks out to say, I have tampered with a witness in Kenya. And my job was ended, Mr. Smart. That was a lot of money per annum. Multiply it with Kenya shillings. Don't I live? I can operate. I have also worked in factories. I've worked in railway stations in London when I was a student in London Guildhall University.
Okay, we're going to get to your student life.
Yes.
Back
and
to my
then
original question.
I made money. And above all, the biggest asset in this world are your children.
So
today, all of them,
they send you money.
6 of my children are working. They are married. Some of them are married to fortunate people. So that's an asset for me. If I have no money, I'll beg. I'll tell my children, please send me something to survive. 1,000 bob here in Kenya, you survive. Pounds, I can survive, Mr. Smart.
You haven't answered my question.
I've answered.
You haven't answered my question.
How much I'm valued? I don't know how much to value myself until
give me a rough estimate.
Until my auditors can do.
So you've never audited yourself?
No, I have, but I'm valued with assets. I'm valued to about 300 million Kenya shillings.
300 million Kenya shillings.
Yes.
Are you a wealthy man?
No, I'm a very generous man. At times I give out and I remain with nothing. Smart. The problem I have is when I have no money, I can't even ask people to give me because they think I have money.
Let's talk about this 300 million of yours. Where is it? Is it in real estate?
Where? No, I don't. Real estate? Where? I have a house in London, please.
Okay.
That's enough. If I sell it, it's 2.5 million. Like this. It's mine. I worked hard,
and in Kenya?
bought it.
In Kenya?
Well, I will invest. I've invested in human resource. I have an office. It employs Kenyans. All my peers are Kenyans. You see?
Let's talk about your doctorates.
Yes.
What did you study?
London Guildhall University.
Mm-hmm. And what did you study?
The problem is that I did not study in Africa, so people think 27 years, surely the universities are open in London. I had reached there. I had an aim to go. I went, studied political science. I did my political science degree and a master's degree in London Guildhall University. It is now called Metropolitan University in Aldgate East, Calcutta House. You can go there. My student reference number can be, actually you just ask the university, punch in Dr. David Nyekorach or David Nyekorach Matsanga. It will bring you the number, what I studied, what I didn't study, plus several doctorates, honorary doctorates, 7. About Zimbabwe has given me 2. What do I have? Proceeded for...
When was this? When did you do your doctorate?
From 1991 to 1998.
What was your dissertation on?
On conflict resolution in the Great Lakes region and international counter systems on what we can do on conflict. It is the only unfortunate thing is that I was paying for my doctorate with hard cash. I'm still paying my loan until they surrender me the documents. You get my point? That's it. I paid over 170,000 because I had no sponsorship. Uganda government could not sponsor me. I had to sponsor myself. I'm a refugee in the United Kingdom. I went to borrow the bank to sponsor myself. Today, as I speak, I'm still paying. There's a balance of 27,000.
But you're a wealthy man. You have 300 million in your account. Why
no, in London, I have paid. It was huge. It was huge.
How much was it?
It was 178,000 pounds.
But you did not start being wealthy the other day, Mr. Matsanga.
Yes, I did.
You did not start being wealthy the other day.
Not the other day. I have been. I'm not wealthy. By the way, you have put this tag of
no, from 1991. No, Matsanga. David, hang on.
Yes.
From 1991,
yes,
when you went and do your doctorate. Before that, I believe you're doing your bachelor's, should be in the 80s.
Yes.
If my calculations are right.
Yes.
These are spread it over 20 years.
Yes. In Uganda, I left. Don't forget, I had a history when I left with nothing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen, I left with 1 shirt, 1 trouser, 1 pair of shoes, 1 pajama, and this is the Matsanga you see here today.
It's fine.
I left as a refugee with nothing.
I agree.
Yes.
We are right, and you're okay up to that. But you worked for Sky News. They paid you £150,000.
Yes.
A budget of 500
per annum.
Per annum, 550, 500,000 to
as
travel
a
around.
Fee.
Yes.
Consultancy fee.
Yes, that's the other day.
So you cannot,
how come
you cannot become a consultant of Sky News in Africa when you have not actually given them the documents.
My question is, it's fine, fine, that's fine. My question is, why have you not paid?
Let's finish this smart. Because people like Makau Mtua write about people. You know, the media people have picked things collected from garbage of Makau Mtua writing people. If you ask Makau Mtua professorship, where did he get it? He bought it from South and Street.
If Matsanga, if he was seated next to me, I would ask him the same question.
But now he's not here.
You're here.
One of these days, I would like us to be brought together, because we are all international operators.
We'll get to that.
But
we have a lot to discuss.
Let me tell you, with my wealth, it's not too much.
300 million.
No, worth.
Yes.
Now, if I look at my cars, the trucks, that is all. I don't have big money to spend.
But 28,000, you said, of the
I'm
balance.
still paying.
Yes, 28,000.
Because you see, in the UK, there's a different system. You don't just rush with 50,000 to draw money in the United Kingdom, 10,000 in cash.
But you're paying your debt.
Sir,
you're paying your school debt.
Even if you pay, they will ask you what is the means. That's why the security system there is checked.
So you
might be money laundering.
I just suggest that the means of how you got your money, you cannot explain it to the UK authorities.
No, you have. I do. I pay tax with P41. All my P41s are.
So why would it be a problem?
But I cannot.
Why would it be a problem for you to pay?
You are now looking at the money, which you called me 300 million.
You said it. You said it yourself.
No, worth it. I said about that. But that money is not with cash. That money could be in the form of small assets, small one piece of land here. You cannot just carry land to go and pay in the United Kingdom. I cannot use my house.
I'm still perturbed
at
how you have 28,000, you say, of school loans.
Yes.
Now,
exactly.
Explain to me.
A student, anybody who is smart, you have been a student in those countries. You paid your student loan. You finished it once?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Yes. Mine was huge. It's not it's 1 degree. This is a PhD. You have to pay 172 to 78,000. It has accrued interest. I've paid. I've struggled. That shows how committed I am. I did not want to go to President Museveni to say, I have now come back. I beg you, pay for me this loan. I'm a man who has made myself. One of my children will help me to pay. I've educated them to help me to pay. But the only big problem I have now here is in UK, you can't just, you have to say your means. Why are you like this? You say the conditions, I have this house to pay, I have this mortgage, rates to pay. Luckily enough, I only have rates because I finished the mortgage problem. I have rates to pay to the council. I have to balance my life. You don't live like a
Matsanga, final question. This year 56.
Yes.
Still paying your student loans?
No, I studied.
There's everything wrong in that.
It's not wrong. I studied much earlier. I did not study at the age like you. Because my age life, younger life was disrupted. I went to fight as a liberator at the age of 17 to overthrow Idi Amin.
So, fine. I get you up to there.
Yes.
28,000 in debt, that is the only debt you have in life.
Wait, which other one?
Good. Great. Hang on to that. Hang on to that. So you have no any other debt left, 28,000 of your student fees?
That is one. Now I have some other
little ones.
Yeah, to pay.
Little ones.
You have to service your workers. You have to give your employees money, so that you don't have a gun coming near your doorsteps. You see, you have to council rates.
So who pays you now?
Where? My business. Look, I went to Brussels in Luxembourg, filed an application to remove sanctions. You see, one of the problem people have is they don't know strategy. I'm not in fact, if I were a lawyer of Uhuru Kenyatta or Ruto or Sang, I would have finished this case a long time ago.
Speaking about Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto and Sang, do they pay you?
No. I've never even had a tea with them.
Why not?
Because I don't want. I defend them from international conspiracy. They are my friends. They are African people. They are good people. They were wrongly placed there, Mr. Smart.
Do you know Uhuru, President Uhuru Kenyatta, Deputy President William Ruto?
I know them.
Do you know them personally?
Yes.
Do they know you?
They know, of course, they know me.
So why don't they pay you?
But I don't know. I have never gone there for payment. I have never asked them to pay me. I am an African, Pan-African, with a passion to defend Africa. Look, you work with President Mugabe. When he says, come on Tuesday, he has nothing to, on Tuesday, 11 o'clock, look smart, he will be there. He will tell you, go and file this application in the European Court. I told the government of Zimbabwe, please, don't fight West with words. Let's go judicial process. Go through the judicial process. Smart. And what I've done with ICC, I've gone through the judicial process. I have filed. I'm the only African man. Go to ICC website. Please, I invite you. They will tell you Dr. David Matsanga versus the chief prosecutor. I'm the only one who has filed over 7 applications to free my brothers. The rest of these people talk in the streets of Nairobi.
Help me understand.
Yes.
I still don't understand.
Yes.
Why would you go through all this process and these 2 individuals who are your friends and they know you, they don't facilitate the process?
No,
help me understand that.
If they did, Fatou Bensouda would have already taken me to Hague. Because they are looking for people.
Hang on.
Yes.
Is it criminal or is it criminal offense for you to be a defender of President Uhuru Kenyatta?
It's not. But
so
he has not.
Why would he not?
Uhuru Kenyatta has not written to me and said, defend me. I found a mess. I found in 2008, nobody liked to hear their names. Nobody wanted to hear Ruto name. Nobody wanted to hear Uhuru Kenyatta. Nobody wanted to hear Hussein Ali. Nobody wanted to hear Muthaura. Every Kenyan said they must go.
So just a good Samaritan?
Yes, exactly. And God, Jesus, is watching me. Look at me. He has given me that strength. I came in on this. If I have not been talking since 2008, these guys would not be here. I'm telling you, they were going. The NGOs, the civil society were determined. The men, some of these men who sit on this set, they are very dangerous. I've seen them, but I don't want to mention them because the court gagged me. Smart, do you know that the court has gagged me?
Which court?
The ICC. They say I should not speak about certain things. Hey, what type of court is this? I have a gag order. Otherwise, I will spill all the beans on this table now. Today, I have a gag order from the president of the court that if I'm found talking about ABCD, I will be taken for 5 years. Because of Uhuru, Ruto, Sang, Hussein, Muthaura, and the rest. I spoke out.
And that's what I'm asking you.
I spoke out.
That's what I'm asking you.
But I have never, and I repeat, God is watching. I have never had tea with Uhuru Kenyatta. I have never had coffee with Ruto. I've only shaken hands with Sang, Ruto, and Uhuru when I meet them at AU. Also invited. They don't invite me. I'm invited by the AU. As a special guest of African Union.
Are they that ungrateful? Because you do a lot for them. Are they that ungrateful?
God will judge. If Ruto is grateful, fine. If Uhuru is grateful tomorrow, fine. If Sang is grateful, fine. If they don't, history will be grateful.
Hang on to that thought. Talking to David Nyakorach Matsanga on the person of interest. We're discussing everything and anything. Take a short break. When you come back with your questions on Twitter and on SMS line, do stay with Morning Express. We are talking to David Nyakorach Matsanga. He's discussing everything and anything, no holds barred. Just before we took a short break, we are going to finish on matters ICC.
Yes.
Where should it stop? Who should the buck stop and end? According to your expert opinion.
Let me tell you. The entire ICC facade is not a case. This was a fact. It should terminate now. You see, as long as Kenya is still held with ropes, you see, everything is going wrong here because there is an ICC hand watching. People are paralyzed. Let's be honest. Communities are paralyzed. Homes are paralyzed. You don't know whether your president is safe tomorrow or not safe. You don't know whether your vice president, deputy president is safe. You don't know whether Sanga will be taken. We know there was fake. Yeah, 1,300 people died. Smart. But can I shock you? If you investigate this case, there is not even a single death certificate.
So are you suggesting that no one was killed?
People died.
Great.
Somebody must be held responsible for the death. But
who's not Uhuru?
Unfortunately, we took wrong people.
Okay.
Because we have left the people who should have gone to stand, who ignited this problem.
A question for you, for
Yes.
Kimamo Theory on Twitter says, if Matsanga would die for Ruto, why are you afraid to spill the beans? 5 years isn't much considering you're saying the truth, if at all you're saying the truth.
I'm going to spill.
When?
I've written to court. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Listen, I'm a law-abiding citizen internationally. I've written to court. I've given the court 28 days. Listen.
From when?
28 days after Easter. If this ICC appeal chamber does not give Matsanga permission to spill, to tell the world the 11 names of men and women, Kenyans, who sat down, selected witnesses, selected suspects in an organized manner, take this tall one, remove this short one. If they don't do that, then I'll take a next step. And the next step is,
so when is
you
it?
go 5 years.
You
spill it out. I've been gagged by the court. You spill it out, and you are taken for 5 years.
So are you ready?
So I'm ready to serve the 5 years. If it to save the country, this country is being gagged up through an ICC regime change mechanism. ICC has become a regime change mechanism.
So you're
saying it is very worrying for people. Smart, let me tell you, it's very worrying for you to have a president of 40 million Kenyans all the time being called by small, khaki, jean boys in town in The Hague that come, we want you. Come. These people cannot function properly if Ruto is on the plane all the time. How will he look after the security of this country?
To be fair to the Kenyan people, they knew Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto were facing crimes against humanity.
Yes, that's
they knew
why,
that. So Kenyans knew that. So
that's why Matsanga, a Pan-African, we have taken this motion to the AU.
Let's close this down.
We want, wait for Ruto, wait for Uhuru. After 5 years, he will be if he does not win an election, please come and bounce on him. Leave him to run the country now. That's the stand of AU. We want the sitting presidents in Africa. Have you arrested Tony Blair? Have you arrested Cameroon? Go to London and pick Cameroon, take him to jail.
Are they facing crimes against humanity?
Yeah, Britain is under scrutiny.
Are they facing crimes against humanity?
Yes, there are crimes against Britain.
Are they facing crimes?
They are going to. Have we gone to arrest him?
Okay, that's the future.
So my point here, Smart, let's be honest. A president must, elected by people, majority of the people, should be allowed to function until his term is over.
Great.
Now, the Constitution of Kenya says so very clearly. Now, what we need to do, as this court is not legal. By the way, did you know, you think ICC is legal? No. It's just legal coating with chocolate. The whole ICC is political, pressurized by German, France, unataka mimi nitoboe.
But you can't
German, France, United States. Wait, these are the countries pressurizing for someone in Kenya to be taken to jail.
We signed the Rome Statute that actually makes ICC a local court. That's what we did.
Yes.
So we cannot say it's not a legal court. It's actually a Kenyan court.
That is, it should have worked as complementarity status. But the court has usurped the complementarity status of this nation. When Okampa arrives here, even President Kibaki stops his work. Oh my God. This is not. Look.
So when are you going to spill the beans? When are you going to spill the beans? When are you going to spill the beans?
And I've told you after 28 days.
From
my
when?
Application,
From when?
From 27th, 24th.
Of which month?
Of last month.
Okay.
I've written to the court. My application is in the court. You can go to the website and check and see. Luckily enough, everything is here. Look, if you want to read, unfortunately, you are not supposed to read, but to see. Because if the judges find me reading with you, you will go to jail also. They have gagged me. So what is it that they have gagged me? It's because they want to take my 3 brothers. And I have refused.
You're the one who's defending them. You are the one who's standing in the way.
Yes, as long as Matsanga still breathes, I bet this ICC case, either we break the court or they release them. Because there is no evidence there. All this evidence is fake, got from poker joints and meat joints of Nakuru, Eldoret, Nairobi. How can you tell me you are an educated man with a master's degree? This is one report of Kenya Human Rights. The same Kenya Human Rights on the same date wrote this second one. One has Kenyatta's names, the other one doesn't have the other names. That is what you have for you.
Let's wind this down.
Yes.
What are you going to run for president of Uganda?
East Africa.
You're not going to run for president of Uganda?
No, I told you when East Africa, the federation becomes a federation, my name is going to be on the ballot paper.
You should start somewhere.
And I'm telling
can you start somewhere?
It will be one nation. I am a Ugandan. I can run. Of course, they will say, where were you born? This is the place, the date. Then I will put my name on the ballot paper. I will run for the East African presidency, chairmanship.
So you want to be the president of East Africa?
Oh, yes.
Not the president of Uganda?
To compete with all the whoever will come on the competition. That's why I'm an international. I'm no longer Ugandan property. I'm an African property. I'm an international property.
Shouldn't you show at least the political experience by actually going and win an actual political seat, an MP's position in Uganda, become a parliamentarian, or become a president? Yes.
Let me tell you, MP, for me to become an MP in Uganda is too low. Right. I've known a lot of international operations. I know how Wazungu work against black people. And I want to defend my black people and the Africans who have not known, who don't know. In Britain, they give you space.
Right.
And I'm happy that Her Majesty's government has given me space in Britain. They gave me sanctuary. I went as a refugee. This is the refugee talking. This is a refugee talking. Look at me smart. 27 years ago, I was a poor refugee with one shirt, one trouser, one pants, one socks. Here I am.
A wealthy man.
I am not wealthy. God has kept me. I didn't even know where my children are.
At least acknowledge you're a wealthy man.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be paid by presidents.
I don't want to go there because if I start going there, you Kenyan will think I went to State House to visit President Kenyatta. I've never seen him in either. Go to all checks. You will never find me applying a form to see Uruto or to see Honorable President Kenyatta.
No, any of his operatives.
No, I don't want. What for? I want to meet President Kenyatta in AU, where I'm also invited as a special guest of African Union. I don't go there through back doors. My name comes with AU credentials. A car is kept for me in Addis Ababa. I don't hire small taxi.
A serious man.
Yes. So please, that means I've done something. When I go to Zimbabwe, I'm a king. The president knows I did a good service for him. At least people should understand. Lancaster Agreement, smart. Lancaster Agreement said, don't change anything for 15 years. I'm sure people who have read political history of Africa will know that the Lancaster Agreement said the agreement should not be changed for 15 years. Mugabe was found in Catch-22, between a hard place and a rock. If he doesn't give land to his people, the army was going to overthrow him. Do you want to be overthrown? So he had to allow veterans who fought for this thing to have. The biggest bombshell we have in Africa today, as I told you, is South Africa.
Final question for you.
Yes.
From Twitter. Nyaboinde,
yes.
Which does Matsanga love more, Kenya or Uganda?
Both.
Why?
Because they are East African countries. Do you need a passport to go to Uganda now? No. It's only...
So you can die for Kenya. That's what you're saying. You can die for Kenya.
Because if you spoil Kenya, we are dead. Please look at me. You don't know you have not even asked something about terrorism. I would have told you. I have a way to sort this terrorism in a very fast way. One of the things, before I leave this studio, please, you can blame all these things on the chief of staff, the DG of what. Don't blame them. The only thing I want to tell the president and the deputy and the other security people, Kenya has structural challenges. Structural challenges. You do a lot of information gathering than real action. In Uganda, we have a different version. The director of intelligence in Uganda does not carry files like Matsanga, like this. The director of intelligence in Uganda goes to see the president. Smart, look at me. He goes to see the president that I saw the problem. Sir, I finished the problem. not to carry the file. You are blaming, you know, now your constitution brings structural problems. And the earlier the Kenyans looked at the structural challenges, the better. In every society, in every community, even in education, there are structural challenges which can bring a structural problem and a conflict. So terrorism, part of the terrorism insecurity, has become a structural problem in that the structures there don't allow action. That's why you see shoot to kill is coming handy. In Uganda, you don't go and brief President Museveni that we found men making a factory somewhere, sir, and some of them disappeared because we are still compiling notes. This is not a civilized country where you compare notes, write files only academically. You must go on the streets. Uganda's intelligence watches you right from Malaba border up to Nimule. They are alert, and their files are, they're armed. But the problem I know about Kenya, smart, is because we need to go, yes. Because previously Kenya had a lot of bad experience. The intelligence system misused some of these tenets. So your constitution now protects people. That you should, the MPs should think of changing the anti-terror law. That those who have terror-related activities should not be given bail easily. Bail easily. In fact, you as an arresting officer, before you reach home, the man is passing your house to say, I've come, I'm here again. So change that anti-terror law that can, if the police officers and intelligence, they have gathered information, they have got somebody, don't easily release them back to the public.
David, we have to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nyakorach
Matsanga, son of soil.
Son of soil.
Yes, thank you, of African soil. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've done well. Okay.